Hello, good morning, good day, and good evening to everybody who tuned in to our webinar. Today we brought you something special. It's nice spring weather from where we are in Novosibirsk. So we've had some lovely days, and with good mood, we are here to tell you a little bit about our management system called ECCM. I'm here with Maria Garina. She's a QA engineer at ECCM department. Hello, Maria.
Hi, everyone.
My name is Alexey Maslov. I'm a product manager at international sales department, and with us behind the scenes there is a moderator in the chat who'll be able to answer your questions should you have any. So I'd like to ask you, please drop a comment or question about what we are talking today, and we'll be able to answer it at the end of the webinar, or our moderator will pick it up and answer it for you. So the management system we are talking about today is quite mature. It's been around for a few years now. So we had quite a progress in this area, and we are going to do a bit of overview, do a bit of a demo of the latest features that we added in this quarter, in quarter one of 2026, and we'll start with the why. Why do you need a network configuration management system in the first place? Again, the piece of software we're talking about is called ECCM, which is short for Altex Cloud Configuration Manager. So it's a web app, it's a browser application that is installed on-premise at your network on the server. But the reasons behind why you would use this software, and it is first and foremost, is for equipment configuration, as it says in the name. The idea here is that you can, if you're advanced enough, you can use good old CLI, or you can utilize web interface of Altex equipment or whatever equipment you're using on your network, but it's all different devices, all different IPs, and it may be confusing at times. A network configuration management system gives you single source of configuration. You're doing everything from one place, and this is a great advantage. Another thing is hardware inventory, and we offering a set of tools for device search, device discovery, documenting of the network equipment. So it is, nice way to know what's happening on your network and whether or not the device in interest is online and getting feedback. Another thing about feedback is event and fault management. This gives you real-time visibility into the issues or events that are happening on your network. We're going to demonstrate a little bit of that in the demo, but the idea here is that as long as you getting notified about the event fast, you can act fast and do the recovery in a rapid fashion. IP Fabric, this is something we're also going to demonstrate today. We're doing quite a lot of work in the data center area, and first step in setting up an IP Fabric and data center in general, it would be initializing it and having it displayed both physical physical diagram and a logical diagram, and this is what ECCM can do for you. And last but not least, regulatory compliance. It's kind of in the name, with many of the projects out there in the specification, it states that it has to have an ECM in place. Right. So there is no way around it very often. And if you are a system integrator, and you are offering a complex solution that has not only wired broadband but wireless, VoIP, telephony, etc., you will get away with just one network configuration management system in place that rules it all. So without further ado, I'll let Maria do the talking and give us a bit of an overview of the solution.
Thank you, Alex, for this introduction to our system. First, I'd like just to demonstrate what it's like to have ECCM in your network, how it looks like. So ECCM as a product consists of a database, version control system, as Git, of course, and some Docker containers with the services of the product that is ECCM. And it is installed on your company servers, and administrators and operators of the network can access all of the information and information that ECCM is receiving from your network directly from their personal computer through a web interface. This is a web application. So,
what types of equipment do we see on this diagram?
Yes, as you can see, this is a principal scheme of how it could look like. ECCM is, first of all, for networks which have a lot of LTEX devices, because features for LTEX devices, ECCM supports quite more advanced than for third-party devices. And you might know that LTEX produces just a wide range of different devices, and we can connect ECCM to your VoIP network, to switches, to aggregation access level, as Alex previously mentioned, to even a data center level. Of course, routers and edge network routers can be connected to it as well. So it's really a question of which device you just add to your monitoring system.
Right, and when it comes to the server, what would be system requirements for the server to install ECCM on?
Good question. So first of all, you will need a basic Linux server of any operating system, and minimal system requirements would be 16 gigabits of RAM and 200 gigabit hard drive space. More detailed information you can, of course, look up in our documentation, which is, we will direct you to it at the end of our presentation.
Exactly. Thank you, Maria. So from here, I'd like to give you a bit of a insight into what ECCM is capable of. It, as we said, was designed with LTEX products in the first place, of course, but it does support some third-party equipment, more of a for monitoring, but there are also SNMP trap usage that you can utilize for more deep monitoring. So I'm not going to go over what it can do for each types of this equipment. I just want to give you a bit of an idea, a bit of a rule of thumb when you want to use ECCM. As we said, first and foremost, if your network is predominantly based on LTEX products. Secondly, if you are or your engineers are tired of repetitive and tedious tasks of setting up equipment, changing settings, upgrading firmware, doing some repetitive monitoring queries, ECCM can automate that. Another thing is your network has a lot of similar nodes, similarly configured. This is another good idea to get use of ECCM. Another thing is personal preference. As I said, not everybody likes CLI. If
Right.
your customer more guide, graphical user interface type of person, you can offer them ECCM and they will be more comfortable using it. And last but not least is journaling. When you want to have transparency, when you want to have information exactly about who and what had changed in your network, ECCM is a great way to do that, because everything, all the actions are getting journaled in one place, and you can have access to what had been done in your network and this type of insight. So I'll let you from here demonstrate individual features of ECCM one by one.
Right. So today we're not going to show you everything, because the system, as Alex previously mentioned, is quite mature. It's been in development for the last 3 to 4 years now. Features it covers and tools it provides are really vast. So we are planning to show you some of the latest additions to this software. So currently on display, you can see how it would look like to monitor hardware metrics of ME5000. This device is
MPLS router,
MPLS router.
Quite large and complex.
Yes, and would you say it's important to know what's going on your the largest node in your network? Yes. So as you can see, if you choose any device that you added to your collection in ECCM, you just choose it and pick which metrics you would like to review now. So in this inventory tabs, you can pick, maybe you want to see input power or fan speed and RPM. This is very important not to overheat your devices. Also, this particular device also consists from some amount of different modules, and each module can be monitored independently,
yeah.
right? And of course, there will be on the main interface the most basic inventory information, such as serial number, model of the equipment, its uptime, etc. And of course, RAM, ROM, CPU utilization. Everything is conveniently displayed in a visual, pretty to the eye way, I would say. And it's also interactable, so you can pick all the graphs you want, see an actual quantity, and not just in a percentage.
Great stuff, thank you. I'd like to add speaking about the UI. The UI is the same throughout all the LTEC software products. So whether it is NICE, AV, VESR, you name it, everything follows the same pattern. So if you already tried one of our software, if you used it, you probably are used already to this UI, and it won't be new for you to use.
It's also pretty intuitive. Everything usually in LTECs has tooltips, and because it's network management specific software, of course it has to have some kind of just tipping information what could help the user to understand more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Currently, you have been watching display over the next our ECCM feature, which is LLDP protocol-based topology building. If you want to further visualize your network,
Sorry. It's okay.
If you want to further visualize your network, you can actually create a network map using our network map tool. It is based on SNMP monitoring and LLDP neighboring information that ECCM collects from the devices you want to display. And it's pretty neat, I would say, to see the state of your network, because you could see on the display that some of the devices were red, some were green. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You will be able to see the state of your network right in front of your eyes. If some device is down, maybe it's physical connectivity that is lost. Maybe someone tweaked with configurations a bit and VLANs, for example, are wrong. Everything you can see from that network map. Also, for mesh switches, we support direct configuration from the map itself. So we can see the map, pick device we want to tweak a bit, and correct it right in front of us.
Yeah, exactly. It's very intuitive. So you don't need to memorize, IP addresses, whatever. And you just can pick and set up. Okay, and next is the IP fabric feature.
Yep. So right now you can see the demonstration of how you can assign roles in your IP fabric. If you're familiar with that, interface, if you're familiar with configuration of IP fabrics, you know that switches in this type of network require a certain role in their topology. And you can see that you can directly assign roles to the devices that you've added. And also on the last stage of creating and initializing your IP fabric, you can see that ECCM can automatically build your IP fabric topology. So you will see all the pods, all the spine level, all the super spine level, underlay and overlay directly.
Automatically, it does that. That's great stuff. And speaking of the physical of the installation of the system, what can you share with us in this regard?
So right now on the screen you can see also our latest addition is active redundancy scheme. We recently implemented this in our latest version as of now, 2.6. If you lose information about your network, that would be a pretty bad situation. And in order not to do that, in case of a failover, we have now support for 1+1 redundancy. So if in a certain time interval we don't receive anything from a master node, it will automatically
fall back to
the slave node. And you won't lose your database to this event.
And how fast is the switchover?
So the switchover, of course, depends, first of all, on the time interval that you set up as an administrator of the network. If you need it to be quick, you can set it up to be quick. But you need to keep in mind that quite a large amount of data will be utilizing your network. So if you have reliable network connectivity, it can be like a matter of seconds.
That's great, but it's better, to prevent a disaster rather than dealing with a disaster.
Absolutely.
One little bird told me that we have a solution for that as well. Is that the case? Can you tell us a little bit more about Peeper?
Oh, right, Peeper. So in order to monitor the system, ECCM, so it is installed on the server, which is also important hardware. We have added support of our also one of the youngest projects we have, monitoring system for again, software resources. ECCM, of course, runs on a Linux server in Docker, so we can monitor all of the microservices it utilizes, CPU usage, memory usage, database monitoring. We can also access this information from ECCM. It was added recently, but it's quite some time has passed.
Great. Yeah, if you are using LTEX software solutions, you will probably hear about Peeper. It is a nice little tool that is monitoring our other software solutions. So it's really good whether you have AV, NICE, ECCM, you name it. Peeper can have a look and give us insights about what's happening on your server and that that your software is up and running at all times.
Yeah, it also, of course, visualizes all of this information. It's not like just numbers. Also similar to ECCM, so it's monitoring of monitoring system.
Yeah, I guess we'll have a webinar at some point
Maybe.
on Peeper and show you its capabilities.
Right.
And now, exciting demo time.
Yes. So I'm just going to switch to our test server. So right now on your screens, you should see what ECCM looks like, its basic interface. So as Alex previously mentioned, it is similar along all of our software, right? So first thing is the dashboard. Any management system should have one. It's customizable, so you can add or delete widgets that you personally need as an administrator. It can display various things, but its most prime function is to display, of course, some urgent events. So it could be some network problems, connectivity loss, availability via different access protocols, SNMP, SSH, ICMP, we monitor constantly. So we have this side menu.
That's okay. Let me bring you back on the screen.
I apologize.
It's confusing, I know.
So we have the side menu. Tabs are all highlighted, and each tab is responsible to the particular just tools ECCM provides. So as you can see, it's a lot. It's problems, network maps, network firmwares. For example, if we click it, we can see and manage all of the firmware that is installed or can be installed on our devices. Alex also talked about this, that one of the main advantages of using a system like this is group operations. So we just add devices to this singular point of access and perform, I would say, rather routine task of updating your equipment. Just do it in a couple clicks and it would be installed on a number of devices. And you can see from this table, it has a file name, series, so what line of device actually this file is supposed to go to. Version, of course, the description, and this little toggle that can actually be displayed if this particular firmware file is the latest version, so
up to date.
It's the most relevant.
Yeah, can we upgrade licenses on the device?
Right, we also can update licenses. As you might know, some of the feature, for example, for mesh switches, I know personally, some of the features are locked by a license, and you will have to install BGP, OSPN, OSPF. Right, so it's all done from here. I don't see the screen, sorry. It would look like this. So you import license files, and at this point they're not on devices yet. You need to also pick and choose and click install. And it would be uploaded on their dedicated device, because as you can see, all the license files are serial number connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would go to the right device automatically. Also, this is the mapping tool I've been talking about in the presentation. Let's go to constructor. So for example, we will call it something simple. And as you can see, building a map is pretty easy. We'll choose these because this is fabric devices. And you can see because fabric is already initialized, it has all the connections. We can save it and just go back to the map. We can see all the state, all the connections, and as I previously mentioned, we can go to quick settings and start our configuration process right from our network map.
I have a question though, and if you are the viewers have questions, please drop them into the chat. I have a lot of questions today. How many devices can we have on the map? How big
that's
it can
actually a good question. So you see, we have this thing. It's called like an embedded map.
Oh yeah.
So
map in the map.
Yes, map inside of map. So it would look like we can add a different map inside of this, so we can see. Oh, so there it is.
That's okay.
Yeah, sorry, not the right thing. So as you can see, we can add in another map inside of it, and instead of adding a whole bunch of devices, we can maybe want to display a local network and not everything that goes beyond it. So we can leave all these devices and leave the rest to the embedded map. And on this instant of a map, it can be around 700 devices.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and of course, networks these days are much larger. And again, you don't have to display everything. You can just put it inside this another map.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Yep. So what else we can show? Let's go directly to our just testing environment. First of all, this, again, basic inventory information. If we click on any device, we can see that here I have a bunch of them added, from wireless controllers to routers to, this would be an aggregation switch. Yeah. You can see all the graphs. Yeah. And we will start with some basic, I think, mesh switch configuration. So one of the most basic things you can do on a switch is to create a VLAN. So let's do that. Let's wait a couple minutes and it should be created inside of the system.
Couple of seconds rather. Should be fairly straightforward. So all the CLI calls are happening under the hood, so you don't need to touch CLI at all.
As you can see, new VLAN ID is added to the table. We can see VLAN name is also displayed. Also from other created VLANs, you can see that there also has like a couple columns directly connected to the which VLANs are assigned on which ports. So we can see tag traffic is going through these ports, and then tagged is going through these ports in this particular VLANs. And this is also done in ECCM. So we need to go here. And I will explain this further. So L2 configuration is pretty straightforward as well. We need to go to profiles, so create different kinds of configuration. So for example, this profile is just a common settings to which other settings are bind to. And we can see that we have a bunch of them saved. For example, 49 to 59 VLAN ID. And we have preset settings for general, trunk, port mode, and of course the modes themselves, and also some of the L1 features such as storm control. We see that we have unicast and broadcast profiles that are policed in some way. And what we can do is to bind these configurations to our test device. So we choose this device from the list. We choose just a common profile that we've created previously. And here, interface profile binding. So we can choose interface that we input these configurations to. So for example, this would be, for me, interface 9. And we just add that, let it be like trunk.
Do you need to check it?
Yeah. No, I've done this. Okay. Maybe I haven't added. So yeah, this is also an important thing. If a user, for example, like I did right now, is not really aware of what is going on the network, ECCM will not let you to input wrong operations. So for example, here I'm trying to assign something to the port that it already has some of the...
Oh, I see.
Yeah, let's try again. No. Oh, see?
We found the
Yep.
port.
So, and all of the errors that you might receive if you do something wrong, really user-friendly. They usually explain everything that needs to be done in order to resolve your issue.
I see. If I'm not gonna distract you, can we quickly look at the journaling feature from here? What the action that you just had performed?
Yeah.
Can we see it in the journal?
Of course we can. Again, you've talked about this, but one of the main advantages of ECCM is network transparency. A lot of people usually work with and manage networks. Administrators and people in charge need to see who is doing what, so we can go to settings to use a journal and go to action history actually. I can talk about these tabs if we have time as well. But you can see that all of my actions are displayed here. I've added IP fabric. You can see that I've done this. And we can see just a login message, how it looks like, just the basically what was done. And the message itself, more detailed information. It will have usually IP address, username, and model device if it's relevant to this particular event. Also, we have a dedicated column, of course, to display
Username, yeah.
who performed this action and when.
That's great, thank you.
So what do we have time for?
I guess we can quickly, do we need to show the physical interface port channel functionality real quick?
Yeah, I'll try.
Because it's fairly new.
Yeah, you're right. Also, one of the latest additions to our system is L1 configurations of physical ports. So physical properties such as speed, administrative status, so you can up or down your physical ports if you need that. Right again from the web console. We can pick a group, a number of interfaces that you want to configure, and here you can change status, you can up them if you want, you can add descriptions to the port, and you can configure administrative speed. So usually the default settings on mesh switches and maybe on everything else is auto negotiation of speed. So you just connect a cable and speed is figured out automatically. But if you need port running on one speed, disregarding everything else, you can do this again from this console. For example, we can install 100 Mbps, and we turned off auto negotiation. Also a couple minutes, oh no minutes, and we will have our interfaces configured. Also, just one step ahead, we can, from this tab, Quick Settings, manage things via a web interface. But remember, we are dealing with network devices. Usually they are managed via some kind of CLI with commands. We can also do that in ECCM if we pick our device and go to terminal. And this will be an emulator of you using SSH to access your device.
Yeah.
And also the same thing goes for this tab, configurations. So quick settings is if you want to use web interface, only click buttons and visualize the information you want to configure. And here you can upload those configuration files with the commands and also look through them. You can create drafts for new configuration, you can retrieve it. And also we have pre-prepared different configurations drafts, such as maybe you want to add a new interface or a new VLAN via this method with comments. It is written specifically that you need to just input the number of port or interface you want to configure.
That's great stuff. Before we go to the roadmap, I see you do have some wireless controllers there. I just want you to do us 1 minute overview of the wireless functionality. I believe it's very similar to the wired sort of.
Correct.
You can manage, you can monitor, you can configure. It's
yeah, both of them.
Similar.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Both mesh switches and VLC configuration, so wireless controllers. These are devices that control access points for Wi-Fi networks. So they're both one of the most advanced currently in ECCM. We are in active development of further advancing our capabilities with working with these systems, and also we're not forgetting other LTEX devices, and also steadily evolving their functionality. And of course I'll say a couple things about a wireless configuration. Same as always, you can see basic inventory information specific for wireless configurations. You can see number of clients, number of access points that are connected. Also monitor interfaces of your controller. But as far as configuration, also very similar. So we can see that we had the mesh tab, which we explored a little bit, and we have these bunch of wireless options. So the first thing is to configure a wireless controller. We can use locations. So we have here a couple of pre-installed ones. And then we add to this location all kinds of wireless settings that we can utilize on our controller. And then the controller will distribute these configurations to the access points it's connected to. So one configuration would be on all of the access points at once automatically.
Great stuff. And I believe except not only wireless controllers but wireless bridges it supports. You don't have any in the list, but you can't have everything. So basically it's much more than that. For any details on specific features and the list of supported equipment, you'd go to the website. It's always the source of truth, and we have data sheet that has everything listed. And if you're wondering if it's supported, please refer to that information.
Yep. So
yeah.
We can go back.
That was a very comprehensive overview. Thank you. So we'll switch back to the presentation for now and have a look at the plans we have for 2026. So 2026 had already started, and first quarter had ended a week ago. So we just reviewed a few features that we added in the first quarter. Redundancy was one of them. IP Fabric initialization we also showed you, and as I said, it is one of our priorities right now, doing work in the data center area, and we are releasing hardware for data centers. There is a new line of mesh switches for super spine, and leaf rolls in the IP Fabric, so they kind of go in one direction. Fault management interface. This is a nice tool that giving the administrator a way of dealing with faults, with assigning a person to investigate a certain fault or event and see the progress of that.
Again, transparency.
Transparency, yeah, exactly. L1 and port channel also showed you some low-level stuff with a nice user-friendly interface to it. And public API, I believe this is self-explanatory, so you can have your system talking to same system and whatnot.
Yeah. So as for the second quarter, which we're currently in the beginning right? We are planning to release, first of all, one of the most requested, the most popular action you can perform as a network administrator on a switch is to assign IP address to an interface. So we are currently in active testing stage of this particular feature. We're also adding further support of L3 features such as routing table and table with BGP neighbors information. So again, further monitoring, advancing monitoring process. And we've been saying this pretty much the whole presentation, that data center support is one of the top priorities for us currently. We're keeping expanding this this area, and one of the staple things that you require for your data centers to work is, of course, EVPN multi-homing, which we are currently also actively testing.
Thank you. As the third quarter, we have all the types of broadband covered in this quarter for our MPLS switches, ME series. It is advancing its monitoring and configuration for ME routers. Sorry, for our MES switches series. It is improvement in the configuration area, in the security area, giving you the ability to configure authentication, authorization, and administration. So security area will be easier to configure. And for the ESR, our service routers, it's network time protocol, NTP, and configuration of SLA test will be available at the third quarter.
Okay, and lastly, for the fourth quarter plans, we have plans for expanding our features for other devices other than MES switches. As you can see, we will add OSPF and ISIS-based topologies for both our big and small routers. Network maps I've showed you before are based on LLDP connections, so is for local networks because this traffic is not routable. And this feature is for larger networks, which we can build maps based on neighboring status of these routing protocols, which will also come in handy for, again, our data center features. Also, we are planning to expand usability of MES switches by adding time protocol and access lists, and further expanding, again, data center features with VRF and L3 VNI support, which is also the staple for using IP fabrics. Of course, we could not fit everything on one slide, all of our plans. We're trying to expand all of the lines of our equipment, and our team is looking forward to work on all of this great things.
Yeah, I believe the release cycle for ECCM is 2-3 months. You'll get a new version around that time. So please keep, you can subscribe on the website on our newsletter and be notified as the new version is released. So please keep your eye on that. And being a representative of International Sales Department, I'll take it over a little bit from Maria and tell you a little bit about licensing, the commercial part of the product, of licensing ECCM itself, of course. You can try the product and actually get away without paying anything and requesting a demo license just by using demo mode. What that means is that as you install the system, you'll be able to add one unit of each model to the system. One model of MES 2300 or 8 switch, one model of each of the ESR, one unit of each of the ESR models, etc., etc. One unit of generic, what we call generic, some third-party equipment. You can even do like a very simple super spine leaf data center, if you will, as long as they of different models. So it will be enough for you to get the taste of the interface, of the UI, of the basic operations you can do with ECCM. Then one piece of equipment equals one license. So if you have a network with 50 pieces of equipment, you'll need 50 licenses, but these licenses will be specific for specific models.
Right.
Please reach out to us and we'll put together a quote for you as to how much it will cost depending on the equipment you have. The pricing varies. It tend to follow the cost of the equipment, in the sense that the more expensive the equipment is, the little bit more expensive the price for adding it to ECCM will be, and the cheaper the equipment is, the cheaper the price for the ECCM license would be. But again, with software, we always a little bit more flexible rather than hardware. And if you are building your network on LTEX equipment, please talk to us, and we'll be able to give you maybe a little bit more friendly pricing. The licenses are non-expiring. These are perpetual licenses, meaning that we're not charging you every month, we're not charging you every year. It's not a subscription, it's a one-off purchase, and you're good to go using them forever, pretty much. And the verification of your licenses for ECCM happens using what we call ELM. One of the options is using our LTEX license manager. If you have access to our manager for verifying your license, it is the easiest way. You don't really need to do anything. You just add the license key, and we can add you more licenses as you go, and right. It's very very straightforward process. If you are prefer air gap way of dealing with that, if you don't have any WAN outside connection to our server, you can run this server at your premises without calling any external service. So you can do that. And again, ELM, it is this thing that does license verification for all the LTEX products, not only ECCM. Or third way would be doing the file licensing. Again, it has its advantages and disadvantages. Advantage is that you don't need an ELM installation in your network. You don't need to do any external calls to our ELM server, but it's hardware tied. So if you are keeping the same configuration of your server, if you're not updating its hardware, but you'll be able to use just one file. But as you upgrade your server, you will need to reach us and refresh your license, because again, it's tied to the hardware of your server. So please talk to us. We'll assist you with choosing the right approach for you, and this is how you get your product licensed. And if you'd like to try the product, this QR code will take you to the product page on our website. Again, the product is called ECCM, and it's very easy to find using search bar at our website, or scanning this QR code. Or for all the questions and inquiries, please reach us using this email. Myself or one of our product managers, one of our client managers will be able to assist you with this inquiry.
And of course, if you're using system already, you can reach our technical support.
Yes, absolutely. Service desk is always for
we have a dedicated team for ECCM. They will also help you and answer all your questions.
Yes, absolutely. And here is time for our Q&A section. I'll bring our YouTube window real quick. And I can see that our moderator has done a decent job answering questions, actually in both languages. Do we have, is it? Oh, yeah, it's automatic translation. That's right. I got confused. Let me see if there is any unanswered questions so far. Hello, Branislav. This is our Serbian partner. Yeah, about the question about sending notifications, whether ECCM can send notifications to your email or messenger was answered by our moderator. This is good stuff. I'm scrolling down. I don't think this one was answered. Does it have user roles? Can some users be assigned for normal monitoring and others to do network configuration? Can you answer that?
Yes, of course. I can even demonstrate if...
Yeah, absolutely. Let's switch.
So user roles are configured as everything else in settings regarding settings for ECCM access. So we can create a new user, and also we haven't mentioned that, but we have LDAP support, Active Directory, and we can either pick it up from there or create a local user and assign roles. And you can create your own role with your own access levels, or you can just use pre-installed, which is super admin with who has all of the privileges, all of the access levels, administrator and operator. So operator can only monitor, look for the information, but cannot change anything. And administrator can input some maybe controlled changes also. And also we can distribute people and administrators through the groups of devices. So if you have, for example, devices divided by groups of folders, you can assign each administrator of the set group to the group inside ECCM. So they won't even see other devices rather than the ones they're responsible for.
Great stuff. Thank you.
I hope it answered.
Yeah,
the
it does.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything in the chat, to be honest. And yeah, we getting close to the end of the hour we had for this webinar. So thank you very much. I had a blast talking to you today.
Same.
I learned a few new things for me, and hopefully you we were convincing enough for you to get this system and trial it for your project, see if it works for you, and please feel free to reach to us. We'll be able to help you with all your inquiries. Thank you very much, and talk to you next time.
Thank you too, Alex. Thank you everyone for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Да, что-то мало.